start the session. So I will just give you a brief background about what NDLA is all about and why it was started. So NDLI was conceived over a small brief meeting with the then HRD minister way back in 2014 and 15. So that time, even now, most of the centrally sponsored or centrally supported institutions like IITs, IIMs, and other central institutions, they their library budget is anywhere between 20 crores to 25 crore rupees every year, right? And all these institutions, uh, is it okay if I speak in English, or should I switch over to Hindi? You can put it on the chat if you don't mind. Though my Hindi may be slightly horrible, but you have to bear with me. Okay, so English, I think most of you are fine. I will do it in English. So, so then what happens? What has happened was like there was a requirement. So all these institutions were procuring the resources from the same publisher at a much like at a slightly varying prices. So the HRD minister requested all the directors of these institutions to look at, why can't we have a centralized repository of these resources so that this resources can be taken forward to all the educational institutions, because these institutions have good number of budget and admissions, but there are institutions where the budgets are less and it's very difficult to manage in these remote locations. So IIT Kharagpur was quick enough to respond, and they started like preparing, working on this concept called National Digital Library, and which was immediately like reviewed and approved by the then the team of MHRD. And and initially when we started with very few resources, like in very few lakhs, with very few user base, and today we are about we have closer to 4.79 crore resources uh, with around 50 lakh user base. So that's the strength today, but still we have a long way to go. We are still in the process of learning, and we are still yet to reach out a lot of the user base. So having said this, so let me get into this topic of the digital library. Why digital library? So I will uh, talk about it from my personal experience. So what has happened was, so during my research days, uh, like when I was doing my MPhil and PhD at JNU, so the library used to be 24 by 7 open. That means you can go to the library any part of the day and you can access the library, and you can see at least 500 to 1000 people sitting in the library at any point of time. So in those, even in that library, I used to face challenges. The challenges, first and foremost challenge that I mostly faced are, so when the faculty prescribe a good resource, good book or good chapter in a book, I go to the library, I search for the book or title in the OPAC. Most of the situations, when it's a good book or when it's a good chapter, it must have been issued to another faculty member. So that's what I faced in most of my library days. So we wait for the faculties to return the book, and most likely they get renewed at least twice or thrice. So then we finally go back to the faculty member and we request him to give the book for a few hours so that we can make photocopies of that thing, and then we study. So that's what the first challenge we faced. The second challenge was, we go to the library, we search for the resource. It may be available, it may show that the resource is available in the so and so section. We go to the so and so section and search in the so and so rack. except that one resource, except that one book, I will find rest of the books. One brilliant student in the campus uh, like wants that resource to be preserved, so he keeps it somewhere so that he only can access that resource, so nobody else can access that resource. That's the second challenge I faced. And the third challenge I faced was, I go to the library, the opac shows the resources available in the library in the so and so section. I go to the so and so section, I search in the so and so rack, I find the book, uh, but when I go to the so and so chapter, except that one chapter, rest of the chapters would be there. Or one brilliant student might have torn off this chapter, or they might have underlined with a pencil or a pen. So these three challenges I used to face during my research days. And apart from this, in the last few years, the budget for libraries have been drastically cut down. Depending on the institution, it has actually come down anywhere between one fifth, right? Say, for example, if the institute budget was say 10 lakh rupees, and that has actually come down to 1 or 2 lakh rupees. When the institute budget was only 2 lakhs, they are now spending only like 20,000 or 30,000 rupees for that, too only for mandatory resources, mandatory number of resources. So that's what is happening. Just give me a minute. I think there's some stream to be on network issue. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah. So what's happening is, so that's the another challenge that we face. So we thought digital library could address these issues. So what happens in digital libraries is you can access the resources, same resource, by as many number of users as possible. So with one copy of a say 1984 novel, at least 1 lakh people can study that novel. There is no restriction, and you can study it anytime, anywhere. See, currently due to COVID, you are all not able to go to the institute or access your library, but now you can access all the 4.79 crore resources by sitting at your home itself. So that's possible with digital library. So having said this, I still feel like we my reading doesn't complete unless I read a like printed copy book. But still, digital library gives you access to resources uh, like at your fingerprint. So that's what the importance of National Digital Library of India. So it was conceived in 2000, launched as a pilot project in 2016, and we have currently say 4.79 crore resources. So with this brief background, now we will see the presentation uh, of NDLI, and then we will take up some questions, right? So now I'm going to stop my video. I'm going to share the screen. So kindly let me know if the screen is visible. Just put a send a chat message. It's visible or not. Okay, so thank you, Karishma Nevis. So I will start. So what are we going to see in this session? Why NDLI, which we've just discussed, and who is this for? What kind of content we have at NDLI? How to access NDLI? What is the difference between Google and NDLI? And how to operate NDLI club in your own institution? So kindly see this gentleman. Okay, and this gentleman's name is Dr. S.R. Ranganathan, and he is the father of library and information science in India. So he contributed significantly for the development of library in this country, right? So you kindly read about him when you have some time. So the current country's need is anytime quality knowledge resource for anyone, anytime, and anywhere. So now let's look at perspective of India. Like, see, except very few states, say for example Kerala, Goa, Tripura, and Mizoram, where the population, the literacy of people are anywhere between like above 85 percentage. In rest of the states, it's like less than that. Even some states, it's less than 75 percentage also. So that's a literacy level, and that's one aspect of it. And the another aspect is India as a young nation, we at least 10 lakh people, 1 million people are turning 18 every month. So that means they are getting into the higher education stream uh, uh, after their plus two. To address this gap, India needs at least 6 universities and 270 colleges every month to bridge this education divide. Not in like few states, but in the entire country. Say, for example, UP, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh. So all these Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, all these institutions require, states require more number of such institutions. So to address this, India would have to invest anywhere between 60,000 crore to 1 lakh crore every month. That's only the one-time cost, and you can imagine how much uh, what do you call the operational cost would be, and also uh, the sustainability of these institutions will become a challenge. So the government of India looked at digital solutions to supplement and complement the existing higher educational mechanism so that we can leapfrog on the existing infrastructure. So you might have heard about NPTEL, Swayam, Swayam Prabha, and the NDLA. All these are supplementary and complementary learning learning resources. So NDLA was formally dedicated to the nation on the 19th of June 2018 by the then MHRD minister. Now let us see who is this for and what kind of content we have at NDLA. See, NDLA is meant for everyone, starting from the school going students to college going students, or youths, professionals, academicians, researchers, entrepreneurs, and lifelong learners. We have resources for every age group, every gender group. So you can actually access these resources. So basically, we don't create content, right? We are actually a content integrator. Integrator means we collaborate with partners, right? So we have collaborated. Say for example, if Sant Teresa Institute of Education or Kanti Shikshan Institute of Education, if you have some thousand resource, say non-copyrighted open resource materials, right? And what we can actually do is we can help you in converting putting all these digital resources into our platform. So that is how we collaborate, and you become the owner and we just become a front end platform, right? So we have contributed so far around 251 such content collaborators. So you name any major central government or state government sponsored institute, they are all our partners. So here there are some few institutes whom are our content collaborators. So what type of content we have? We have content for on computer science, information and general works about 99 lakhs, philosophy and psychology 5 lakhs, religion 2 lakh 2 lakhs, social sciences 45 lakhs, language 1 lakh, natural sciences and mathematics 83 lakhs, technology 1 crore, the arts, fine and decorative arts 4.5 lakhs, literature and rhetoric 7.8 lakhs, history and geography 6.1 1 lakh. Okay, so uh, what I'm saying is this is the broader aspect, and then I will specifically get into what type of content available for teacher education in a very short while. Right? And these are broad categories. Under this, we have content for school education, for higher education, so that we can look at shortly. So we have Top 20 contributing contributors are like World eBook Library is one of those major contributors. They've contributed closer to 77 lakh resources. And what type of content we have at India? Like we have content ranging from ebooks to articles, data sets, video lectures, audio lectures, stamp papers, assignments, case studies, question banks, like thesis, dissertation, everything. So you name any form of educational content that is available at India. And articles dominate the major list with 2.95 crore, followed by books 63 lakh resources. So as I earlier mentioned, we have closer to 4.79 crore resources, out of which uh, at least 75% of these resources are full text resources. So full text resources means you can actually download these resources and study for free. You don't have to pay a single penny, or you don't have to make a photocopy of these resources. So how do we find these resources? So this is the, suppose if we search, this is how the search will appear. The first icon, so this is what shows the access option. Suppose if there is a green lock open means it's a full text, and if it's a rectangle box with the National Digital Library of written, it is also considered as full text resources. So as I mentioned, open and NDLI resources, these two constitute the full text resources, and they jointly contribute closer to 3.6 crore resources. 3.6 crore resources are full text resources. Now let us see how to access NDLI. Accessing NDLI is very simple. What you have to do is go to Google or any other browser, say Mozilla Firefox or a Safari or any mobile based browser, and if possible you can also try it in your mobile phone. Go to a browser and search National Digital Library of India, and you will get the first URL, National Digital Library of India, ndl.iitkgp.ac.in, and another URL is ndl.gov.in. So these two URL, you can click on these, any of these URLs. Once you click, you will be taken to the home page. So this is how our current home page looks like. Okay, so during the time of uh, Corona, our team has further classified the content into various educational levels and domains, disciplines. So you can see them here. So I will talk about it in a little while. Now let us see what are the content that we have that are relevant to the teacher education. So first term I searched was on contemporary education. So I wanted only full text resources. Okay, so what I did was I searched, so clicked on this search, and then I typed contemporary education, and then I clicked on search. It fetched me 14 lakh results, and then I applied restrictions, access restriction, open and NDLI. I got 14 lakh resources on contemporary education. So you can further narrow these results by applying other filters also. Okay, so on the left hand side you can see the filters. So what are these filters? Access restriction, author, subject category, educational degree, difficulty level, educational level, file format, language, learning resource type, source. So these are the filters. And also on the right hand side we have one more filter called static filter called content type. Based on the search topic, you can actually find out what, suppose if you want only video lectures, so you can just click on this video, then you will get only video lectures on contemporary education. Got it? Now we will move to the next session, next topic. So next topic I searched was on pedagogy of mathematics, right? So here I wanted resources only from Asim Premji Foundation. So what I did was, one of the filters is source. So I clicked on source, and then I chose Asim Premji Foundation. I got 1333 resources available on the topic of pedagogy of mathematics. Okay, and the next topic I searched was on pedagogy of science. Here I again wanted the source from TeacherTube. So TeacherTube is a open source platform wherein they have put all the educational resources relevant for the teachers. Okay, so that's TeacherTube. So what I did was pedagogy of science, and then I went to source, clicked on TeacherTube. I got 84,941 results. So here we have both video and audio. Suppose if you click on video, you will get only the videos of on the topic of pedagogy of science. And then I searched for a topic called open and distance education. Okay, and I wanted only thesis available on this topic. Thesis means PhD. This thesis. So suppose if you want only PhD thesis available on the topic of open and distance education, there is a filter called learning resource type. Go click on this learning resource type, and then you type thesis. You choose thesis. Here I got 557,000 resources on the topic of open and distance education. And then I searched for a topic called micro teaching. Okay, here I wanted only video lectures. So what I did was I applied, and I also wanted only full text resource. So I clicked on access restriction, open and NDLI, and then right hand side I have the filter on content type. So I wanted only video. So I clicked on video. I got 7,174 video lectures on the topic of micro teaching. So as I mentioned, in this time of corona, we have further classified the content into various educational levels, and then how do we access these resources? So what I have done is just go to the home page, and the home page you will see this icon called Corona Outbreak study from home. Just click on this icon, then this pop-up window will appear. Okay, so from here you can navigate to the relevant content section. Okay, suppose if you want only school education related content, then you can just click on school. You will get all the content that are relevant for school education. So these are the video lectures, and here we have JEE preparation materials. We have simulations, activities, self-assessment, and various other study materials. So here you can see what are the contents you have which are relevant for school education, and this list will keep increasing. However, I suggest you to go to the home page and search on the topic and apply the relevant filter, and then narrow down your results. Okay, so now let us see how to open one of the resources. So here I searched for a topic called ICT in school education. I wanted only full text. Okay, so I clicked on open and NDLI. Suppose if I want to open this first resource from ICTs and school education, source of Director of Open Access Journal. So what I did was I clicked on this. Once I click, it will take me to this page. Okay, so there are two tabs. One is called content, another one is called metadata. Metadata means the basic information about the resource, that is data about data. So here the title is ICTs and school education, and author is Lara Arcos and Nuria Ares. Who is the source? Director of Open Access Journals. Content type is text. Publisher is Universal Aid International de la Raja. File format is PDF. So this is the basic information about that resource, and you check the resource type. It is a open resource, which means you can download. So as I click on content, and here you see I have already logged in with my name, Vignesh Swarnamohan. So if I click content, I will get the entire content in my system. Okay, suppose if I have not registered, then it will be asking me to log in, and here when I click on content, it will ask me to please log in to view this content. This message will come in the desktop. So suppose if it's a mobile app, then it will show that login to download the content. So you click on this login, then this pop-up window will appear. Suppose if you are already registered, so what you need to do is enter your email ID and password, and then enter the captcha, and then click login. Then you will log in. Suppose if you have forgotten your password, then what you can do is click on account recovery, enter your email, and then you will get a password reset email to you can reset your password and start using it. Suppose if you don't have an NDLA account, then what you can do is you can register as an individual. Click on this register button, then a registration form will open. There you have to fill your full name, personal email ID, password, and confirm password. So these are the 4 mandatory fields, and then you submit. Then you are all set to. You will get a verification email. Just verify that email, and then you can start using this page. Suppose if it's a video lecture, this is how the video lecture will look like. So as I mentioned, using NDLA is very simple, provided you know 2 major things. First one is you should know the search topic clearly. Okay, you should not make any spelling mistake. Suppose if you make a spelling mistake, then the results will not be the same. You have to enter the correct search keyword. That is important. And the second important thing is you need to know the filters very clearly. What are the I'm going to talk about some important filters which you can use. One is access restriction, which I mentioned earlier. Suppose if you want only full text, click on open and NDLI, then you will get only full text resources. Second filter is author. Suppose if you want resources only from Wang Wei, just click on the Wang Wei. So this you can further narrow it down. Third filter is subject category. And since you guys all most of you are from teacher education, it may fall under social sciences as well as under technology as well, and sometimes it may come under information general. So depending on the topic, you can narrow down your search by choosing the subject category. So this is the third filter. And the fourth filter is learning resource type. Suppose if you want only audiobook, click on the audiobook. Suppose if you want thesis, click here and type thesis, you will get thesis only. Suppose if you want only book, go type here book, and then you choose the book, then you will get the only books. And the fifth filter is source. I mentioned there are 251 sources whom we have partnered with. So you can choose the content from relevant source. Say for example, if you want thesis, go here and type InflipNet Shodh Ganga. Suppose if you want content from TeacherTube, type TeacherTube, then you will get resources from TeacherTube. Suppose if you want resources only from Azim Premji Foundation, go here and type Azim Premji Foundation, you will get the relevant resources. And the sixth filter is content type. Right, this I showed you on the right hand side. This filter is available. You click on video, then you will get video lecture. Suppose if you want only presentation, click on the presentation, you will get only the presentation. So these are some of the important filters. Other filters like language, suppose if you want only in Marathi, click here and choose Marathi language, then the content available on the topic in Marathi language will appear. Suppose if you want the only MP3 files, go to file format and then choose file format, you will get the relevant content. So I have already mentioned to you about the access options, and also NDLI interface. The entire website can be accessed in your own local language also. And currently this interface is available in various Indian languages. Say for example, Hindi, Bangla, Gujarati, Kannada, Marathi, Odia, and Tamil. So in these languages, you can access the NDLI website. And also for the young generation, we have developed the NDLI mobile apps as well. It's available both in Android as well as in iOS. Okay. So how I will show you how to use the Android mobile app. So this is how the Android mobile app looks like. So this is the home screen of Android mobile app. So how you have to do it? So you know how to do the installation of Android app. Go to Play Store and then search for National Digital Library of India. Then you will get the app. So this is how the app icon looks like. You install that app. Okay. This is how the home page looks like. Suppose if you want to search in NDLI, how you can do is click on this search icon. This is the search icon. Click on this, then the search box will appear here. So what you have to do is enter the search keyword. So here what I did was I searched for a topic called Uttar Pradesh. Okay, and then I enter search key in the keypad itself. I click on the search, Then 41,573 results were found from the database. So suppose if I want to filter down in the mobile app, so what we saw was on the desktop. So here is the mobile app version. So how you do it? Click on this search icon button, which is in the orange color. So just click on this icon. Then the third screen, which is shows the filters. So in the desktop, we saw the filters. The same filters are available here as well. Okay. So you can scroll down all the filters by clicking on this, by scrolling this section. So here I want a watch filter. I've applied for the filter called source. I wanted the source only from Aligarh Muslim University. So I clicked on Aligarh Muslim University and then I applied. I got 199 results on this topic of Uttar Pradesh. So this is how you have to use the NDLI mobile app. So this is what I wanted to uh, uh, talk to you till now. So here I'm going to take a small, I'm going to give you a small activity to all of you. Okay. And may I request uh, Dr. Shakuntala also to unmute her mic. So the activity is very simple. What I'm going to request all of you is kindly go to Play Store or iStore and download National Digital Library of India mobile app. Okay, you have to go to Play Store or iStore, download National Digital Library of India mobile app, and then search for the topic which are relevant for your study. Okay, so here I have showed you only very few topics. Now what I want you to do is, you may find one topic very difficult for you, so just search for the topic and then see whether the resources are useful for you or not. And also what I'm going to request you is kindly I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do this activity. Since some of the students have already downloaded the app, I want all of you to do a search on the topic. Okay, so I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Now it's 13:10, which means 1:10. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, which is we will resume the session by 1:15. And I request all of you to turn on your videos also. Just turn on the video so that we can take some screenshots of the thing. So which I think Dr. Shagundala will do, and I will also try to do the screenshot. So you can turn on your video for next 5 minutes and do the activity. And once as you do it, kindly put install the app and then uh, whether it is useful or not. So kindly put this in your screen in the chat window for me to understand. So, Dr. Shagundala, I have unmuted your mic, so you can talk to the students as well.
Okay. Are you able to download all of you? See, we did this assignment at the time of library orientation program.
Okay.
We did not had the NDLI orientation program, but installing and all for St. Teresa's Institute of Education we have already done.
Yeah, so we will, I think there is one more institution also is now available. So we can ask them also to.
Gandhi Shikshan Bhavan. They have to start, Gandhi Shikshan Bhavan students, you have to start from downloading the app for mobile. And then you can search on the topic you want. It's very simple. Dr. Vignesh, they can do on their laptops also.
Yeah, they can do it, but mobile app is better if they do it in their mobile itself, or they can also do it in their desktop if they don't have mobile phone. If they're doing it from their whichever is fine, as long as they know how to use it, I'm perfectly fine with it.
Please try, all of you. You can ask your doubts in the chat box. You can ask your doubts.
Okay, so Pradnya Boshekar, let me just so Miss Pradnya Boshekar, can you raise your hand so that I can quickly find out where you are? Okay, I have found you.
Sir, one
Yeah,
second.
yeah, I have.
Pradna ma'am is not giving vote of thanks. Will you please allow Neha Bharat to give vote of thanks?
Okay, so she requested me to unmute her mic, so I've just done
Acha,
her.
acha, do that. If
Yeah,
she might have some question.
yeah, sure. I've unmuted her mic so she can ask any questions. Miss Pradnya Poshkar, you can speak.
Sir, our college have not downloaded thing. From the next year, I will do the activities with them.
Yeah, but since they have already are
Yeah.
already in the session, so if they have time, they can.
Yeah. That I agree. But next year, I will do so many activities.
Yeah. So they can also, like, you must be having a WhatsApp group with your students, right? So you can spread this message. Yeah.
Sir, I'm proud to tell you that we have a NDLI group in our NDLI club in our college, and we are 13th on the list for having NDLI activities.
Very good. Good.
And all those activities had conducted with SYVR students, and
Okay.
these FYVR students are little new to it.
Okay.
Next year we will do it.
Very good. Keep up the good work. So now it's 1:15. Should we start the session? So if before we start the session, I request all of you to tell me whether you have installed the app and whether it is useful for you or not. Just put it in the chat message so that I understand your feedback. Harshada has done it. Victor Mosquito, yes. Installed. Angel R, good. Archanara, yes sir, we have installed the app. Whether it is useful, that you need to share. Done it. Ashelika Kamble, Madhu, Faru SK, Vaishnavi Babredekar, also it's useful. Okay. Minakshi Joshi, yes. Melba Medonka, very good. Able to download and search books. Harshada, thank you Harshada. Diana Alexander installed. Jennifer Almeida, yes, I had installed it. It's useful. Yes, sir, it's installed. Pritika Mahatre, Nega Yadav, Spinal, Angel. Okay. So most of you have given your feedback. So now you can turn off, stop your video, and we will start the session. So you can turn off your video. So hope Dr. Shakuntala has taken some screenshots, and I have also
Yeah.
taken some
Yes, sir.
screenshots.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you guys for your kind collaboration, cooperation.
Neha, I want Neha to speak now.
Okay, so actually there is another 10 minutes of presentation remaining.
Yeah, you can
And
continue
then,
with that, sir.
Yeah. So you may want to mute your mic.
Yes, sure, sir.
So I request all of you to stop your video so that there is less disturbance in the system. Okay, so thank you for the good work that you have all done. You installed the app now, and you know how to search the books. So now I want all of you to take a pledge. So we are about 100 people in this session. But what I want all of you to do is, I'm sure you may know at least 100 people in your circle, be it your friends, be it your family members, be it your uh, fellow classmates. I want all of you to kindly spread this message about NDLI, where we have closer to 4.79 crore resources that are available, out of which 3.6 crore resources are free to use. So kindly spread this app to at least 100 people, right? So if we are about 100 people in this group, even if each one of us spread to 100 people, we can reach out to 10,000 people in the next 1 hour. So that's possible with your support. So I am looking forward to that support. And also, this is not going to end today. I'm sure all of you are going to reach out to the student community in the coming years. You are all going to join some school as a teacher who are going to shape this country. I wanted you to take NDLI as a good tool that can be used by the school children as well as for the other parents as well. So kindly take this in the future so that we can all play a critical role in shaping the future of this country. So with this, now I will uh, make a small presentation about what is the major difference between Google and NDLI, and where is the major difference. So uh, so we don't have any competition with Google. Google is a big giant and we are a very small initiative in front of Google, right? So now let us see what is the difference by looking at a small example. So imagine there is a girl called Payal who is studying in class 8th, and she's studying in Hindi medium. And there is another guy called Shamik who is pursuing his who wants to pursue his PhD, and he also, both of their topic of interest is magnetism in the subject of physics. So what they have done is both of them went to Google and they searched for the topic called magnetism, and they got 2.49 crore results. And then they came to NDLI and they searched for a term called magnetism, and they got 4.19 lakh results. And then what Payal did was she applied a filter called educational level, where she chose 5th to 8th standard, and then she chose the language of Hindi. She got 56 results. Whereas Shamik, he wanted only career and technical papers. So what he did was went to educational level and then chose career and technical paper. He got 219 results. So imagine where is 2.49 crore and where is 219. So that's the difference. So now let us see where is the difference. First and foremost, how Google functions. Suppose if you give a term called magnetism, what Google does is it goes to the entire World Wide Web and then search wherever this term called magnetism is available. It fetches that page. But Google can't distinguish whether it's coming from an authentic source or an unauthentic source, whether the source is reliable or unreliable, whether it is relevant for education or not, whether it is relevant for Vignesh or Payal or Shamik. It can't do it. It will treat everyone as equals and it fetches the results without any bias. But whereas at NDLI, what we do is all our resources are coming from our educational partners. They're experts in their own educational domain and they are all curated. So we have only educational related content, unlike Google. So that's one of the major differences. And second one is uh, you can filter the resources. You can apply the various filter which I mentioned, like author, access restriction, source, learning resource type, educational level, language. So these are all filters which you can apply to narrow down your results. And then we have also procured national license. That means on behalf of the Indian citizens, Government of India has procured national license. That is, Indian citizens can access resources from World eBook Library and South Asia archives at free of cost. Okay, so this is the major difference between Google and NDL. Now, what is the big picture? Maybe in 5 years or 10 years down the line, if you have a mobile phone or a computer or a laptop, and if you have internet connectivity, you can sit at your home, you can study using Swayam Prabha, NPTEL, NDLI. These all supplementary learning materials through which you can have a certificate or a diploma or a UG or PG degree. It may happen in down the line. Already it's happening, wherein you can like accumulate up to 20 credits from these platforms. Now let us see how to operate NDLI club. Uh, St. Teresa Institute of Education is already a member, so I will just quickly touch upon. So for the benefit of Gandhi Shikshan Shamiti, I'm requesting Dr. Shakuntala to get them to start NDLA club in their institute. So the objective of NDLA club is to promote the culture of reading in the educational among the students and the faculty members, right? So for that, what we have proposed is identify one student from each class and one faculty member from each department, with librarian as the ex officio secretary and principal as the ex officio chairman. And then you have to apply for the NDLA club registration, and then we will issue a certificate of registration. Okay, so within 30 days of getting the certificate of registration, what you have to do is register all the students and faculty members under NDLI. So you need to capture 3 details from them: email ID, preferably personal email ID, first name and last name. Just capture it, put it in an Excel sheet, and then you have to send it to our email ID, which is ndl-support@iitkgp.ac.in, with a copy to my email ID, which is vignesh@ndl.gov.in and vigneshjnu@gmail.com. So you have to just send it to these email IDs, and then we will do a bulk registration. Alternatively, you can also do an individual registration, which I mentioned in my earlier presentation. So suppose if you want to register as an individual participant, what you have to do is go to the home page. On the right bottom corner, you will see an icon called register. Just click on this button, then the registration form will open. Enter your full name, email ID, password and confirm password, and then these are all optional fields only. If you want, you can choose, otherwise just leave and submit the form. You will get a verification email. You just have to verify that email, and then you are all set to go. You just enter your username and password. Once you do it, then you can use it lifelong. And then every month you need to conduct a reading related activity. So what are these activities that you can conduct? A lecture series or a quiz competition or a storytelling session, go fish session, film screening, drawing competition, role play, writing competition, maker space or debate. And then you have to upload it on our reporting portal. And these are some of the activities being conducted by various NDLA clubs. And also we are coming up with a suitable reward mechanism for the best performing NDLA club at the district level, state level and national level. Similarly, we have also started conducting reading Olympiads at the district level. And then soon we will scale it up to state and national level as well. So this is what the presentation I wanted to present to all of you. And from my end, I have completed the presentation. Now it's time for you to ask some questions. And you can raise the questions by putting the message in the chat box, if that is easier for you. Okay, so there is anyone who has questions. Any questions? You can enter it in chat. or you raise your hand, I will unmute your mic. Shivangi Singh. So I'm going to unmute your mic. Yes, Shivangi. Oh, she has unraised her hand. Any other questions? There is a question from Jennifer Almeida. So can we download the videos from any of the sources? Yes. Yes, you can download from the sources. Any other questions? Okay, so I think there are no more questions. So may I request Dr. Shakuntala to theories.
Uh,
There is
Thank you so much. It
one,
was really,
just give me a minute. I think there was one question.
really
Under which source does theories we can find? Theories or thesis you want to find? Prajna Nayak, kindly put your question properly. And the next question is Asamta Fernandez. How would the children in villages benefit from this and there is no internet? Okay, very good question, Ashamta Fernandez. Uh, Currently, I don't have an answer to your question, but I will give you an my personal experience. So I have traveled across almost like 20 states in this country, especially in the remote rural villages, except very few places where there is a connectivity, severe connectivity issue. In majority of the locations, the people are very smart in using smartphones, especially the young children. They're very smart. They can operate the mobile phones or the tablets much easier than us. So we are all assuming that children in villages can't access internet. They can easily access internet, except very few places where there is severe network connectivity. There it's a challenge, but in most of the places wherever I visited, this was not a challenge. Prajna Naik, I'm going to kindly raise your hand so that I can unmute your mic, because there are 100 people, so it's very difficult to find out where you are. Good question, Asamta. Yes, I am unmuting. Rajni. So there is a restricted access on some platforms like ACS for research papers. So can we get access for such material from NDLI, which we cannot get easily without institutional registration? Yes, Nega Garat. So what you have to do is you go to our homepage, search for the topic, and then see whether this resource is useful. And then, as I mentioned, we also have subscribed resources available. Say, for example, IEEE and Springer, we don't have the full text. We only have the metadata. So your institution have to subscribe for this resource to access. But whereas 3.6 crore of these resources are completely open and easy to download. So see, we may not have the same author, but we will have the resource on the same topic. That I can show. I can vouch for it. Yes, Prajna Naik.
Good afternoon, sir.
Anji.
I just wanted to know this textbooks which we wanted to go for our content. I
Hmm.
wanted to go through. So, is it that textbooks also available?
Yes, all NCERT books available. All most of the state board books are available in the
So,
local
not the
language.
CBSE or an ICSE ones?
ICSC we don't have. CBSC, I think NCERT books are the base on which CBSE books are developed, if I'm not wrong. So you can use NCERT books for your reading. That is possible. Also, the state books, state board books are available.
Okay, so one more question I had it.
Yes, sir.
We have so many theories like psycho theories in teaching. So if I want to know the entire theory, how it is, that thing is also there, because last when I had done, not today,
Acha.
when I had to do, I didn't find it. So that's the reason those
So
theories.
what I request you is you take down my number. I will give you my number. Just ping me separately. I will give you my number. You can call me. Then I will find out and let you know. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay. I would like to give word of thanks to Archana Roy. So Archana, kindly raise your hand so that I can unmute your mic. Yes. Good. So I've unmuted your mic, Archana.
Archana, are you there, Archana?
It's getting unmuted. Just give me a moment.
Good afternoon, sir. I would thank you for all your time which you have given to us as students. Also, sir, from your PPT and also the video you had shown, you had really given a good insight with help of all these things to all of us. As we are going to become teachers, I feel this is one of the biggest thing. I think I had heard of NDLI before, but I actually never went through it. So thank you so much, sir, for making us realize how important it is. And it is not only for us, for everyone whom we are going to teach in future. It will be helpful for them as well. And sir, I am from Gandhi Shikshan Bhavan, and I would like to say that we'll surely be able to make a club of our to join NDLI with all the details given by you, and also participate in the activities which is given, which you had told, for example, essays and quiz, etc. So, sir, thank you very much for your time and making us understand about NDLI.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind feedback, Archana. So there was one more
Neha?
request from Nega. Just give me a moment, Rega. Okay, I'm just unmuted. Yes, Nega.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. On behalf of St. Teresa's Institute of Education and Gandhi Shikshan Bhavan, I, Ms. Neha Gharat, would like to thank our principals, Sister Dr. Wagmari ma'am and Dr. Rajmani ma'am, and also our library staff, Dr. Nigot ma'am and Dr. Bosekar ma'am, for arranging and coordinating this session. So we are really grateful for this valuable and informative session. You started our session with the introduction and also told us the challenges which you faced and the need and advantages of NDLI. And during the session, you also guide us for the how to access NDLI and also solve our queries. So as a future teachers and educators, we assure you that we will take this information forward and we will also create awareness. So thank you so much, sir.
So thank you, Nega, and thanks to Dr. Shakuntala and Dr. Pradnya for. So this is the first time I'm seeing two educational institutions coming together, and they are like joining hands in organizing an webinar for NDLI. So I thank both the institutions and the principals of both the institution and the management of both the institution for giving us this opportunity, and all the students. So you are the future of this country. As I requested all of you, kindly take a pledge. So we are now, it's 1:30. So before 2:30, I would like to see at least 10,000 this message of NDLI reaching to 10,000 people. So it's in your hands, and you are much more poised to do this. I look forward to your great support. So I once again thank on behalf of NDLI all of you for your kind participation, and your kind support. So thank you. Thanks, Dr. Shakuntala, and thanks, Dr. Prajna, for
Thank you so much, sir. On your, I have sent you just one mail, and you have accepted our request. So thank you very much for the nice presentation. And students and we, as a librarian, will surely do the needful. Spread this treasure trove of knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
We can leave meeting now, right, sir?
Yes, you can leave the meeting. I'm just doing some minor recording, and then I will do it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. And may we also get that recording, because I am not that much techno savvy. So maybe my recording is not so good.
Okay.
That is why.
No, actually, like what we will do is we upload this entire video on our YouTube channel. I will give you the URL once it is done, so that you can spread it to all the remaining faculty members and students in both the institutions. Yeah.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.